Serious, what is a small act your so regularly does for you that makes you feel deeply loved? He never passes me without contact. There is always a gentle touch somewhere each time, and if I pass him instead, then he always reaches his hand out for me. It's incredibly comforting and loving. This made me laugh because this is our house, and yours sounds so sweet, but here it's a butt grab or a boob grab typically. XD. Every day, he leaves work at 4:30 PM and he will call me and talk to me for the whole 45 minutes it takes him to drive home. I hear him pull up outside the house and he'll say bye, see you in a minute, then comes in and says hi and kisses me as though we haven't just spent the last 45 minutes talking. He's done it for ages. I look forward to my phone ringing every day at 4:30 PM, even after all this time. He pays attention. If he goes to the store to pick up something he needs, he will bring back something I am out of or almost out of without my asking him to. This last time it was face wash. I saw you were almost out, so I picked some up for you, and it was the brand and type I always use. This is so underrated. My fiance does this and I just take it for granted, but it's honestly the most thoughtful thing. When we shower together, she'll grab my razor and shave my back while I'll lean against the wall under the stream. Then she'll wash my back and give me short massage. Finally, she'll wrap her arms around me, lean into my back and rest her head on my shoulder blades. She knows I hate having a hairy back. She knows my shoulders are always tight, and she knows that running water beating on my head, shoulders and back relaxes me like almost nothing else. Combine that with her holding me and I'll stay there until the hot water runs out. This is wonderful. So happy for you too, Colin. He doesn't get embarrassed, so he regularly does extremely goofy, unusual, odd things that make me laugh, like hiking his PJ pants up to his armpits and waddling around. We've just moved in together and so many things are his favorite, that is, waking up together every morning, going to bed together every night, coming home to me when he's just finished work, etc. etc. I've never felt so loved as I do now. Also the way he makes me laugh. We just moved in together too. Every morning I tell him that I love waking up next to my best friend. It's so great. At night he tells me his favorite part is watching Netflix and eating ice cream in comfortable silence together, just enjoying each other's companionship. He kisses me every single time before he leaves the house, whether I'm awake or asleep, opens every door for me, makes me walk on the inside of the sidewalk. Such a great husband. My husband always does this stuff, too. I love the fact that he braces me as he's making a turn in the car that might shift me in my seat. He just puts his arm on mine so I don't tip over. I come home and find that all my shirts have been organized in the closet according to color, forming a rainbow-like effect, with dark colors on the left and lightest colors on the right. Likewise, the socks drawer is arranged by color, so it's easy and convenient to find what I'm looking for. These are little things, but very thoughtful and much appreciated. He makes me coffee every morning and brings it to me while I get ready or even before I get up, so I wake up to the smell of coffee. Mine doesn't drink coffee. When he's not in the field, he'll set the coffee pot every night. When he is gone, he'll end every good night call with "Don't forget to set your coffee. I love you." Oh my goodness, so many. My husband makes me lunch every day. He always walks me to my car in the morning to drive to work and kisses me as many times as he can. He gets me coffee on the weekend mornings and brings it to me in bed. And he always lets me know when he's going somewhere. And he checks if I need anything before he goes and tells me he loves me. So many more. I feel like I got so lucky. After we argue and I'm about to leave the room, my so tells me to stay and we just sit there in silence for the night. I know it sounds weird, but it's nice knowing that even at our worst points we don't want to be separated. I love this. Less than 3. Even though I usually have no trouble sleeping, he'll often sit and stroke my hair until I go to sleep. It makes me so calm. That sounds really comforting. When I cry, he always holds me until I stop, regardless of how long I cry. The only way he lets go is if I am ready to let go. He will massage me feet while we watch TV. He will scratch my head and back for an extensive amount of time. He will surprise me with food or sweet treats. He is God sent, the sweetest. On the weekends when he wakes up in the morning, we lay in bed and he plays with my hair while we plan out our day. It may be small, but it's the only time that we aren't rushing around and have time to just enjoy each other's company. He's done this every weekend for the past 10 years. Whenever I mention I need something, be it pads or a toothbrush or chocolate, he immediately gets up and gets it from the local store. It makes me feel like everything I say is important to him. It's adorable and lovely. I'm so happy for you that you have this. He leaves tea on my nightstand and kisses me goodbye even when I'm still asleep. And on Mondays he puts an extra sugar cube in my tea to motivate me. I sometimes find sweet notes in the morning. When I started my first job in the US I was a little nervous, and I found a note taped to my steering wheel that first morning, saying how proud he was of me and how he knew I was going to do great, etc. etc. If we are walking around the city and about to cross the street, he grabs my hand, walks ahead and looks both ways to make sure I'm safe to enter the road. We are both grown men and it can seem a little silly, but it makes me smile every time. So sweet. My hubby always insists on walking on the roadside or the sidewalk, even after 19 years. We've been together 13 years and every single time we get into an elevator, he waits till the doors close and then presses me up against the wall for a kiss. It started when we were dating and he still does it even now that we're married and have 2 little people. I hope this isn't every single time you're in an elevator. Must be awkward when other people are there too. I mean everything she does, but one little thing she does for me makes me feel so loved and respected. This is completely serious too. I hate the garbage disposal. Terrified of it. I don't like loud noises so maybe that's why I DK. I refuse to use it and don't want to be in the same room when it's on. This perfect woman didn't even laugh at me when I told her I'm scared of the garbage disposal. She lets me know whenever she's about to turn it on so I can quickly go to the other room and cover my ears. Every single time. She cares about me so much and wants to make sure I'm never uncomfortable in our home and she actually listens to me and respects me and just wow. I don't know how I got so lucky tbh. I'm weirdly the same way with the oven and my GF is very supportive of me. She actually got me some giant oven mitts shaped like bear claws in case I want to use the oven, grab things out with my bare hands. And they definitely help keep the heat away, assuage my silly fear a bit. Most of the time she's the one who gets stuff out of the oven still, though. She's great. This is my first post here on Reddit and English is not my first language and not forgetting the mobile shenanigans. As a girl in love with other girl in a pretty strict place in society just have her hug me or introduce me to others. Ignore our officers to give me a kiss in the cheek as well. Stay safe, and I hope you have a safe place to express all your love one day. My boyfriend used to love getting me flowers, but had to stop because my cat kept eating them and getting sick. He got me a little succulent at first in lieu of flowers, but has started getting me a single rose instead because it's easier to put somewhere I can keep it away from my cat. Be careful, certain flowers such as lilies, and many others, can kill cats. He never makes his own bed, but when he sleeps over and I'll leave first, he always makes my bed because he knows I like coming home to a made bed. Always makes me smile. I used to do this for my ex. I never make my bed but when I slept over at her place, she would always get up first and I would make the bed while she was in the shower. Every night, my husband and I chill out together in bed before actually going to sleep. We're both doing our own thing, like reading a book or Reddit, but we're together. And he always plays with my hair, scratches my head, strokes my forehead because he knows how much it soothes me before sleep. We will even stop a movie halfway through if it's getting late to make sure we have time for the head scratches, and he will do it as long as I want, pretty much, until he literally falls asleep in the middle of it. I'm the heaviest sleeper and incredibly grumpy in the morning. I basically sleep like I'm dead. I don't hear alarms when sleeping less than 7-8 hours. And when I do wake up I'm the most unmotivated and grateful bee ever for the next 60 minutes. My lovely boyfriend will still wake me up, bring me tea and or food and some clothes and actually coax me out of bed. I am unbelievably grateful. Without him I would probably not get up like ever and fail all my uni courses because I couldn't get myself to get up. Sleeping through alarms like it was a competition is extremely unhelpful at getting your life together. If you ever read this, thank you for putting up with me in the morning. I love you. You sound like the female version of me. I have panic attacks, sometimes out of nowhere. When we are hanging out, we sometimes do different things like he games and I draw. Sometimes he stops what he's doing and just looks over and smiles at me, just to check up on me and making sure I am okay. Sometimes he is verbal, sometimes not. If I am not doing so great, he comes over and we just cuddle for a while until I'm okay again. Just to have him think about me even when I think he's lost in his game or task means so much. This might be because I dated someone who gave me crap for my panic attacks and mental health issues, but it really does make me feel so loved. Whenever I leave, drop her off, or we just split ways, as we hug or kiss and say love you, see you at home, she does this thing where she squints her and her knees bend a bit like they are weak. Been doing it since our early dating years. She says it on impulse, and when she tries to explain it, it's just adorable because she can't. It's just because she cares for me as much as she does. I bet Randy looks adorable squinting and bending his knees a bit. She will listen to me go on about games or topics she knows nothing about and still happily engage in the conversation with me. At one point I mentioned a Dragon Ball reference and she made a meme of it, and I couldn't stop smiling for several minutes. She likes to watch shows I enjoy and even got really into one of the YouTube channels I showed her, Overly Sarcastic Productions, and it made me super happy. She sounds like a keeper, and OSP is great channel. They're so funny, intelligent. Don't have a so, but the best one I had was amazing. She just totally took care of me when my only responsibility was bringing in $. She even laid out my clothes. When we are in bed and he is asleep, if we are not physically touching, he will kick his leg around until it comes into contact with mine. He never remembers doing it, but the desire for physical contact is very endearing. Also, he scratches my back whenever I ask. My husband writes fiction as a hobby. He isn't published or anything like that. Every evening when I'm getting ready for bed, he reads his latest work to me. I have a personal sci-fi fantasy author who produces new work to suit my whims. Gosh, I could go on and on about the things my fiance does, to name a few though. When he pulls me closer while hugging me or cuddling me, when he plays with my hair while I lay my head in his lap, when he stares and smiles when he thinks I am not looking, when he absent-mindedly plays with my hands when he holds them, when he puts his hand on my back while we're walking, when he comforts me while I have a panic attack, for head kisses, when he can read my mood, tell I've had a bad day, and comforts me in the best way possible. This man makes me feel so incredibly loved and safe, and I swear I am the luckiest girl on this planet to have somebody like him by my side. I have this silly game I play in my head where the second person to get out of bed is the winner, so the alarm goes off, and we both kind of lounge for a couple of minutes. When he gets up first, he stands up and says, "You're the winner." When my GF rests her head on my chest when we hang out and just regularly says cutesy things out of nowhere, God, I freaking love her. Doesn't try and turn the conversation back on her. It's never, "Oh, your day was hard, yeah mine too, I had this." It's always questions about my day, complaint, and seemingly genuine interest in listening to whatever I'm babbling about. This is so important. He calls me on his way to and from work. We don't live together every day and understands that romance to me is not very traditional. For our first anniversary we got together the day after Valentine's Day, so we just celebrate that. He got me a box of pastels, as in the oil-based art supply. He doesn't get me flowers, because he remembered something I said to him the first year we met way before we got together, and just knows me. We have a similar sense of humor, so we are able to have so many inside jokes and just constantly click. We never get bored of one another. I guess this is really a combination of several small things, but, well, I've never been one to care about relationships or romance much. It's little gestures and jokes like these that just make me so in love. He writes me a good morning text every single day, usually a few sentences telling me about his favorite part of yesterday or something he loves about us. Sometimes I catch him staring at me when I'm looking in another direction. When I turn to look at him, he has this big gall grin on his face, like he can't believe I'm his. Makes me feel like the luckiest girl in the world. This is gonna sound a little weird, but he fricks with me, like not in a mean or hurtful way, but in a way where I am mildly annoyed but also entertained. It lets me know he still wants to make me laugh. For my birthday she gave me a glass jar with notes about what she likes about me or us, questions about me or us, let's do something, places I haven't been but want to go, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But 365 notes worth, one for every day of the year. It's nice, and it must have taken her such a long time to think and write all them. Makes me a cup of tea without me ever having to ask him to. In my family we are big tea drinkers, and the way we show love is just by making everyone a cup of tea when we are making one for ourselves. It's nice that my boyfriend has picked us up even though he doesn't actually drink tea himself. I'm British, so obviously this is a big deal. My best friend's boyfriend doesn't ever make her tea, and it's a huge point of contention for them, so yeah, tea equals love. My wife pre-makes me 2 weeks worth at a time of breakfast sandwiches and freezes them. Each sand has a different note written on the wrapper. He rubs my back. He buys me my favorite flowers if I had a rough day at work. He sings to me and plays my favorite songs. I know I am very blessed, so I try and spoil him back. Oh, nice. Back rubs are better than diamonds. When we are home as a family, sometimes he will say, I'll take the kids for a walk drive. Don't do the dishes or tidy the house. You just go nap. I go to bed before her because of slightly different schedules. For 15 years, she's tucked me into bed every night, barring traveling apart. It doesn't matter how the day went, if one of us is upset, she tucks me in, kisses me, tells me she loves me. It's such a part of my life now that I'd be lost without it, and her. He always ends every phone call with, I love you, I am sick, and he tucked me into bed and handles everything. There are so many reasons I love him. He is the best. She writes me notes and hides them. Sometimes I won't wear a shirt for a month or more, but I'll find a note in the pocket, or in my work bag, in my underwear drawer. Just makes me smile. But she's happy for me when good things happen. I interviewed for a job that was a little more work and a little more pay, but something I genuinely wanted. Getting it meant more of my time and attention after usual hours. But she was happy for me. Really squeal and tight hug happy. I know she's proud of what I do, not just what I earn for us. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.